is here. I finally got the phone the right way up, so hopefully this video will be the right way and it will fill your screen and not be like half the screen or whatever. I find it weird looking at the camera though. I want to look at the screen, and anyway. So finally I can do an update. When I posted my video about the day I had the flu jab, I said I'd update you in a week, and it's now about 12 days since the flu jab. The reason I haven't updated you is because I have been really, really unwell. I'm getting better, I think, now. I know I'm getting better. But honestly, it wouldn't put me off getting it again because not everyone has the same reaction. Some people don't have any reaction, like me last year. But honestly, I felt like I was at death's door over the weekend. It's been horrific. So basically what happened was I had the flu jab the Saturday, the 13th of October. And I was fine up until the Wednesday after that. And I woke up Wednesday morning with a really bad headache and stiff sore neck and in the back of my neck, under my ears and my jaw. And I thought, oh no, maybe I've got a sinus infection. Maybe just randomly or from the flu jab. So I thought, fine. Took paracetamol, rested in bed for the day, got up in the evening, watching TV, had a bit of dinner and stuff, and I was really tired and I went to bed early. And then I slept that night like terrible, in pain, and my shoulders, my neck, my head, everywhere. So Thursday, I decided to go to the doctors. We saw a locum doctor who didn't know me, didn't really seem to know a lot, really. He was really young and said it was probably just a virus. I had a temperature, not really high, but like 35.3. No, 35? No, it's 37.3. 37.3, which isn't massively high, but it's higher than normal. So he was like, just see how it goes. If it gets worse, come back. I woke up on the Thursday and felt horrific. No, oh God, that was waking up on the Thursday. The Wednesday I hurt. The Thursday I woke up and I couldn't move. My arm muscles were hurting. All where I had my jab was hurting. My knees were hurting in the actual bones, in the joints. My feet, every single part of my body was hurting. And I was like, oh my God. So that's when we went to see the GP, the locum, who said, see how it goes. So then I really felt unwell, and I went to lie on the bed at 7 o'clock and I fell asleep and I didn't wake up until 8 o'clock the next morning, which for me is very unusual because either I sleep all right, but not until like 11, 12 o'clock at night, or I wake up a lot in the night because I turn over because I get pain and uncomfortable, and the pain I've been having, I wasn't sleeping well. Pardon me. I ordered a V-shaped pillow and that really helped with my shoulders, but I woke up on the Friday and I felt even worse, and I was like, oh my God. I had like fever, like I was sweating every time I tried to move or get out of bed. I was sweating, but then when I was in bed I was freezing and I was under the duvet. My POTS was going completely out. Like I literally couldn't walk to the bathroom without feeling like I was going to faint. I felt so unwell. I was just a mess and just hurting so much. And so Friday I phoned up the doctors and were like, what do I do? And they said, come back in. Luckily, my amazing husband was in the town we live in that day, not usually in town that day, but he drove me in my car because he's insured to drive. He's the only one insured to drive except me. In my chair, because our doctor's surgery is quite far away from where I live, and in my chair, the amount of pain I was in, there was no way I was going to go there because there's bumps, there's pavements, there's curbs, there's just the thought of it was like no. And I was even asking for a house visit, But they were like, if you can get in at this particular time, you'll get seen sooner. And I was like, fine, whatever. So I went in and she was like, I think it's probably a bad reaction to the flu vaccine. But she also, it was a nurse practitioner, not a GP. She did asked me to do a urine test and dipped it, and it has protein and white blood cells. So she said I had an infection, and she put me on nitrofurantoin, which is for bladder and UTI infections and sometimes kidney infections. But she didn't really tell me what infection it was. She said there's a sign of infection of something, so I'll give you this antibiotic, which I'm still on. I've got to take 7 days of. But I didn't have any of the symptoms of a urine or bladder infection. I had no burning, no stinging, no urgency, nothing at all. And I've had a UTI before, and it was really painful, so I had none of that. So then Friday night I was brushing my teeth, and usually I'm able to stand up long enough to brush my teeth, but halfway through I just stared at Adam and I zoned out, and he was like, what? And I thought to myself, I'm going to faint. Usually I get quite like a few minutes warning at least, getting sweaty and heart going crazy and all that. So my battery's a bit low. And so then I just collapsed to the floor because I couldn't stand up. My legs went jelly and I was like, whoa, and I couldn't breathe. So Adam knows what to do, and he just let me sit there for a bit, and I came round and he got me to the bed and had water and feet up and all that, and then I was okay. So then the next day I woke up on the Saturday and I felt like someone was sitting on my lungs, which I sometimes get when my chest infection or asthma is bad. And I was like, but I'm not wheezy, I'm not coughing, I have no cold, I have no sore throat, which with the flu jab in the past I've had, a bit of a cold or something after. And I really couldn't breathe. So I felt so ill that we called 111 because we were like, do we go to hospital? Do we call an ambulance? Do we go to the doctors? What do we do? It was a weekend, so I couldn't obviously see my usual doctor. They were like, as soon as you mention anything chest pain wise, they send an ambulance. So within like 5 minutes, the ambulance came. They were amazing, actually. They did all the tests. They said all my obs were fine. My temperature was now 37.5, so it was going up. But everything else was fine. They did a 12-lead ECG, which was fine. My blood pressure was fine. My pulse was fine. They said surprisingly it was low for what they'd expect with pain. It was like 69. But then I take Evabradine, which is to lower my heart rate anyway, and that obviously was working, doing its job. And then so the rest of the day I had to rest, and Adam had to take the day off work to look after me because I couldn't get out of bed. I was in so much pain, and just taking paracetamol all the time, trying to get my temperature down and my pain down. And then Sunday, I just felt horrific again. I was in so much pain. I couldn't move. My head and my neck got worse. I couldn't actually turn my head at all. I called 111 again, and guess what? They sent another ambulance. And this time, again, they refused to take me to hospital. I have no idea why, because by this point, they look at my sheet that I have with all my medications and illnesses on, so you don't have to spell it to them when you're feeling out of your mind. And they look at you and they're like, oh, you've got so many health issues, it's probably that much, and blah blah blah, and they don't listen. So they said, oh, you could go to the out of hours GP at the hospital, and if they think that you need more tests or remitting, they can do that. And I thought I prefer that than going to A&E, lying on a trolley for like 5 hours or something, waiting to be told the same thing, go home. So I went to the out of hours GP. And this is the shocking bit, and I am actually going to put a complaint into PALS because the nurse practitioner was lovely, but she did all the usual just obs, asking me questions, what was wrong and all that. Told her. She did a urine dip and said, oh, there's nothing, it's all clear, you must be better now. But then fast forward to yesterday or the day before, I saw my GP again, and I had blood tests yesterday at the doctor's, and I'm waiting the results now. And he was like, oh, yeah, we'll do a urine test. And he was like, oh, no, we can't because you're on antibiotics. It will give a false reading of negative because the antibiotics is in your system. So I'm thinking, well, why on earth did the nurse practitioner do a urine test when she knew? I told her I was on antibiotics. So then I saw this after her. I saw the actual GP, and he was an American guy, and he was like on planet La La Land. He was completely like, oh, I've been to this conference and it's all new age stuff, and you know, you really should be at home. That's where you're best off. You've got so much going on. Have you thought about talking therapy? Have you considered physio? And I'm like, do you even have a clue who I am and why I'm here? Because he clearly hadn't looked at my notes or anything. I have physio at the hospital I went to, and he doesn't get that, you know, EDS, you don't have physio all the time for everything. Only can have it if you've got one specific problem. And I have it for my shoulder at the moment. So, and then he was like, oh, you know, you really need to talk. And I was like, I've done all that. I'm fine. I don't need to talk to anyone. I want you to tell me what's wrong now. And I want to help me with the pain. Like, paracetamol is not doing anything. Give me something stronger. He's like, no. So I was like, I was really swearing in my head, and then swore about him on the way home. And I really wish I could swear about him now, but I won't, because YouTube will take my video down. So the next day, on the Monday, I called my GP because I literally was in so much pain I couldn't hold my head up. I have got my V pillow behind me there, but it's gone down a bit. It slid down. I literally could not move my head. Oh, and then the reason on, where are we now? Monday, had to call an ambulance again. Third time. Because I thought when I woke up, my neck was a bit sore, but my arms had stopped hurting, my legs had stopped hurting. I was like, yes, I'm getting better. And my back went like completely, like where usually I have my injections, felt like it had undone itself. Couldn't move, couldn't get out of bed. I was on my own. Adam had gone to work. Obviously, being on my own all day, I couldn't just lie in bed. I need to go to the loo. I need to get a drink. So I couldn't move. I was in excruciating pain. Ambulance came. Luckily, they gave me Entonox, which is amazing. I tried it once before and fainted, but I thought I'll try it again. I was fine, and it sent me really high, just really out of it. They got me to the living room, they got me sitting, and they were like, look, there's no point taking you to hospital because we think it's also a reaction to the flu jab, even though in the previous days leading up to it, all the doctors were really like, they would never admit that the flu jab could make you that ill. They're all like, because they don't want you to be scared into not getting it again. And it doesn't contain the flu, but it contains a thing that your body has to fight off. And given that my gastro stuff has been so bad, my body's so weak, I cannot fight off, it seems, anything at the moment. My body's just like kaput. So I ended up going to see my GP, and he was like, you look terrible. Did my temperature, and it's gone up to 37.8 now. So it's going up and up. And he said, well, considering the fact you've been on paracetamol for a week nearly, you're on antibiotics, and your temperature's still going up, there's something infection wise. And finally he said, because of all your conditions and illnesses, we could easily miss something because they could be masking something. And I'm thinking, if only every doctor said that, I'd be happy, because you can get other stuff. Just because you've got a chronic illness doesn't mean you can't get other serious things. So he's ordered the blood test. I had that done yesterday, and I should get the results today, because he was worried about me having a kidney infection or a spinal infection or something. But he said I'm having a fibromyalgic reaction to the flu jab, which basically means he's not saying I've got fibromyalgia, but I'm getting all the symptoms of it because of the flu jab. My nerves and my muscles have been very sensitive to it, and basically everywhere you could get pain, I've had pain. It's also with my POTS sent it completely nuts. I was given Oromorph. I'm not taking that today yet, but that's for when I'm really in bad pain, because I don't have to worry too much about my stomach, because obviously I'm getting diarrhea. So the Oromorph usually constipates you, so it kind of will ease the diarrhea a little bit. But the Oromorph also made my POTS worse as well. So my POTS is already bad, so my standing tolerance is really low. I can't stand up for more than a minute. I can't do anything task-wise around the house. I'm exhausted. Yesterday I had to lie on the bed with my feet up on the wall because I could not stand up. I couldn't breathe properly. I felt sick. I've just felt like death. So yeah. So it's been probably one of the worst weeks. In fact, it has been the worst week of this year. Even with all my gastro stuff, at least I know in my gastro stuff that people can help. But in this case, people have been going, we don't know what's wrong. We can't be bothered to find out. We don't really want to admit it's the flu jab. So basically, the flu jab has made me so unwell. And I'm just coming out of it. My pain generally is gone. I have it still a bit in my back and in my neck. My shoulder really flared up and that's still there, but it's not as bad. And obviously my pain tolerance is very high, being a zebra. But yeah, it's been a horrible week. So that is what happened. So please don't be put off, because some years I've had no reaction at all, and I've known people have had bad reactions. It really depends on how strong your immune system is, if you have any other health issues. And yeah, I would still, it hasn't put me off, but just, that's my story. And please, I just hope no one else feels like me, because it was the worst. So that's it from me. Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned and click the picture of me on the screen right now, and you can subscribe to my channel. Please like the video and click the bell notification if you want to know when my next videos are put onto YouTube. There should be a box on the screen where you can see other videos I've done. Happy watching.